It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey, this is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
I'm Jeremy Saffer, rock photographer.
Hey, this is Baz Black.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hey there, this is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
This is Ryan McCombs from the band Soil, and you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast, right here. Come on.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, stiff game show hand. Someone, come on. Jesus fucking Christ, not right. It's because it's so fucking cold, Jamie. Oh, I'm freezing. Yeah, tell me about it. It's ridiculous. I do believe this right here, it's about there, is the 68th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast.
Oh yeah, it is, baby.
And there was no trailer this week because this interview's a little bit different this week, Jamie.
Just a little tiny bit different.
Just a slight bit, because I wasn't there, but still, we'll get into that. I believe these are the Chronicles, Jamie. Again, literally about here, of Ryan McCombs. Is that correct?
Yeah, they are.
Lovely. Well, you drove this week because I wasn't there. So, do you want to hit it?
Yeah, I'll hit it. Seatbelts in. Let's go. Hit it.
Hit it. But Jamie, I do believe it's time to bring the piece in, and I'm going to bring the piece in. But I wasn't there, so
no, you wasn't.
It's all over to Jamie. Welcome to the Chronicles of Ryan McCombs.
Oh, he's just leaving me to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Ryan McCombs is the lead singer for the incredible rock band Soil, and he previously was the singer for Drowning Pool as well, another fantastic band of our youth. I was fortunate enough to go and see Ryan play live at the Asylum in Birmingham. He's currently doing his Stripped Bare tour, where basically he does acoustic versions of songs from his career, and including some covers, and just tells incredible stories about these songs. And yeah, it's just a fantastic show. The rapport he has with his band members and stuff like that. Great laugh. And I cannot recommend enough. This tour is now over. I went to the penultimate show of this tour in Birmingham at the Asylum, like I said. But he's going to do it again. This is something he wants to keep doing. He now lives in England, rather, and it's something he wants to keep doing. So next time this tour comes around, you have to go and see it. It's an absolutely incredible night. This man's voice is incredible. He's got such a great gravelly voice, and if anyone has ever listened to me gush during our Chronicles of John Karabi episode, you know I love me a gravelly voiced rock singer. So it's absolutely incredible. I was fortunate. Thank you to Ryan's bass player Martin Camp. We met Martin at Bloodstock Festival this year. He's part of our Bloodstock vlog, and he basically just sent us a message saying, Ryan's touring, do you want to come speak to him? I was like, yeah, we do. So I was fortunate to be able to go along. So just before his set, I got to go sit in his green room and sit next to him and have a about 20 odd minute conversation. It's absolutely, you can see I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen, I was nervous as hell. This is the first time I've done an interview on my own, let alone doing an interview in person on my own. But I think
you smashed it.
I think I did a good job. I think it went well. I was a bag of nerves afterwards, but no, I think it went really well, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. A massive thank you goes out to the wife for her incredible camera work. She sat on the floor because there was no spare chairs in the room, and a steady hand was had holding the camera. She did an absolutely incredible job. So a massive thank you to the wife for that one. And yeah, this is really good fun, and I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Go and check out Soil. Go and check out the Drowning Pool albums that Ryan did with them. And yeah, incredible. You can enjoy this one, I think.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, I sadly was not present. I could not make it just due to financials and whatnot. So it's a bit of a shame. But I'm glad you had the time of your life. And I'm sure you absolutely nailed it. And I'm actually quite excited myself.
You were missed.
So I see it as Martin. Thank you so much for messages and hooking us up there. We really appreciate it, my brother. Like Jamie said, he is a part of our Bloodstock vlog, and we thank you so much for being a part of that as well. So much more to come, and yeah, enjoy the final interview of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie's interviewing this week. It's Ryan McCombs.
We are here at the Asylum in Birmingham for the acoustic, unplugged, stripped back tour of this man right here. Man, I first saw live in 2001 in London at the Metal Hammer Awards.
No, I'm not that old. We're not that old.
Listen, I'm pretty certain it's 2001. My mind has now gone hazy. But
you see Underworld?
I genuinely can't remember the venue. I remember it was in London for the Metal Hammer Awards. But anyway,
I was going to shed something insightful on that. No, I have no idea.
I can't remember. So you play that many gigs, I can only imagine, but they all blend together. But anyway, we are here with the one and only, the lead singer from Soil. It is the man himself, Mr. Ryan McCombs.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining me. So thank you so much for doing this. It means the absolute world.
No, thanks for taking the time out, man.
But we always like to start off our interviews with the hard-hitting, the nitty-gritty questions, as they say. How was your past 2 years, the pandemic season, as we're calling it?
I mean, it's the same as everybody. I'm sure I don't want to bitch or moan about it because everybody, I'm sure, had their struggles and everything with it. But it was dealing with the music industry was probably my biggest problem. I mean, my wife and family are awesome, so that aspect was great. But I think, backtracking on what I just said, I think the only thing family-wise that was weird about it was that, my wife and I, we've been married now for 5 years, and she was like, when I married you, you were touring all the time and you're always gone, and now you're here all the time. And for me, I was like, yeah, I've never woken up in the same place this many days in a row in my adult life. So it took some getting used to for both of us. But what I was getting at before was just, I think the biggest change for me was, or the biggest obstacle, hurdle, or whatever you want to put it, was just dealing with the music industry and still dealing with it. Because I think even though it's on the path to getting more normal, it's still quite a ways away from being like it was. And I mean like on the business side of things, not necessarily, I mean everybody's dealing with the show side of things, but also just the business side and promoters, venues, everybody took such a hit with it that a lot of great venues aren't around anymore, and those that are just trying to get back in the swing of business again. And especially when you were coming back into it, there was a bunch of everything's normal. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. And so you had promoters and venues losing their asses on things left and right. So everybody's a little hesitant this time. So it's caused, and still is. So it's caused kind of tiptoeing back into normality very carefully.
Yeah, I genuinely felt really sorry for musicians because, like you say, your life just comes to a halt. You're so busy touring, recording, doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden sit in your house and don't do none of that.
Yeah.
But what did you do with that spare time? Did you keep yourself busy working on new music or what, or was it just like, I'm having a break?
No, I worked on new music as much as I could. I was pestering the shit out of Tim and Adam about new music all the time, so I'm sure they're glad things are getting back to normal, not hearing me bitch about that so much. But we weren't as productive as I wish we had been. had a great opportunity there to bounce music back and forth, and we didn't as much as I'd like, but we did to a certain degree, and there was definitely a lot. The problem with me and writing music during that time, though, was that I've always been, as far as lyrics go, I've always been one to write about what I've experienced. And then you find yourself writing 15 songs about being stuck in your house. Sick of fucking Cheerios.
Went to the kitchen.
Right.
Again.
Kids are still home. This is bullshit. Yeah, so it's nice that life's gotten a bit more normal now, to where I can bitch about the normal things and not just lockdown and stuff.
You find that with a lot of people who are like, God damn, I hated it. I was stuck in the house. Now back to normal. Like, we should be stuck in the house again.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand with a lot of the industry stuff. It's like people, even though the industry itself is getting back to normal, I ran into a lot of situations where people don't seem to understand how to get back to normal again. Like the individuals seem to affect people in a drastic manner in some cases, and to everybody handle it in there. I'm not dogging anybody or any group of people that may have, because everybody handles everything differently, and but at the same time, I kind of do. We don't, let's go. Let's tour the world now. Yeah.
So as I said at the start, we're here at the Asylum in Birmingham. I can imagine you've played Birmingham so many times over your career with Soil, with Drowning Pool and whatnot. Any fun memories for Birmingham, or does it just all just blend into the same for a little while?
I don't want to make it sound that way. Regretfully it does, in a sense, because for the better part of my adult life, it's been 5 or 6 shows a night every week. 5 or 6 shows a week that you're doing shows. And so you're in a different city every night, and it's weird. We just went into a lot of times I don't remember a venue until I walk back into it, and I could play there a dozen times, but the name doesn't stick to me. But as soon as you walk back into those walls, inside those walls again, you're like, oh
yeah, I know this place.
We did this, that, and the crowd did this, and it was fun. We had a laugh and everything. That was I think that's a cool. I've been on the road with bands that they're between song banter and stuff. Sometimes is almost over rehearsed. And whereas I've always just enjoyed, every show is different. I've just always enjoyed having some back and forth with the crowd and stuff. So you walk into some of these venues and you remember like the crowd in Glasgow singing "The Rose of Scotlanders," and just really neat memories of just moments with the crowd, because that's the things that stick with you over the years. And sometimes, though, regretfully, they don't come back to you till you walk into that venue. You're like, oh yeah, that happened. And that's not happening. So I think I strayed away from the question, but yeah.
No, it's a cool story. Who cares?
I know that. I'll put it this way: I know that nothing bad happened here to make me go, no, God, it's on the fucking list again. So that means I've always had a good time here.
That works. That works.
So,
but this is the second to last show of this tour, if I'm correct.
For this year.
How has the tour been?
It's been fun. We got a new lineup with starting with this run of shows. The original acoustic lineup is no more, and so. Ellie, I'm gonna get names wrong, so let's go with Ellie, Freddie, and Martin. That's doing the acoustics with me now. Just the whole process of getting the songs back together, and they're different than anybody that has seen the acoustic set with the old lineup. The songs are so much different now. Because that's one thing I wanted to do from the get-go, was I wanted to do this for years, and didn't set forth to do so until I moved here to England. And the goal was not to do Soil or Drowning Pool songs just on the acoustic instruments. I wanted to kind of tear them apart and recreate them, and try to kind of shed the light, or peel back the layers and shed the light just on some more concentrating on the emotions that the song was, that I found myself, the state of mind I found myself in when writing the songs. I wanted to tear the songs down and recreate them, and not just, so they're different.
Yeah.
They're not just, you're not just coming to a show and hearing, Redefined being played on exactly the way it's on the album, just on an acoustic album. Martinelli and Freddie did an amazing job of recreating these songs in the mood that I was looking for, and really captured the songs in a way that I could tiptoe my way through it with the lyrics and express kind of the raw emotions of where those lyrics came from, and they did a hell of a job of doing that. So it's been fun, and like my point was, these are the first shows with that new lineup, and so it's been cool. It's been fun to one thing I've learned, I thought it would be good to surround myself with younger musicians this time, because maybe it would like take years off me, and it didn't fucking work at all. Now I just realize I'm really old because everybody around me is really young. So it's backfired on me.
You're only as old as you act. That's the way I see it. So I've acted like a child my entire life. It works.
In that case, according to my wife, I'm like 105.
But you started doing these acoustic tours in 2019, I believe it was. But where did the idea come from to strip these songs back?
It's something I always wanted to do. It's something that I wanted to do this. I've thought about it for 10 years or more. And it wasn't until coming over here and that I finally was just like, it had a lot to do with time, because as soil has progressed through the years, we've gotten to that stage where we were able to pick and choose more of what we did. We didn't have to be on the road for 11 and a half months out of the year. We could pick and choose what we wanted to do. So I found myself with a lot more time on my hands than I had in the past 20 years. So the time finally came that I had the time to devote to something like this, and to make those thoughts and those desires an actual reality.
Amazing. But how do you go about putting a set list together for these sorts of shows? Because obviously Drowning Pool, Soil, those bands you've been with, they're known for heavy songs. So to strip them back, how do you decide that one will sound really cool, strip back?
This is finding the songs that you can do that with, because there were songs that we felt like should be, as far as recognizability, whatever that, like Breaking Me Down and stuff, some staples of the Soil set, right? And even with the songs that I wrote with Drowning Pool, that were staples of the Drowning Pool set when I was in it. There's songs that I would look at and be like, that should be one of the songs we do, but at the same time, some songs just did not, lend themselves to being turned into acoustic songs. So we took the songs that number one, we felt we could destroy and rebuild in the right light, that would allow us to do so. Because we didn't want, none of us wanted to take these songs and take a song that a person may have strong feelings about, and I hate talking about like fans. You don't want to take a song that someone might have strong feelings about and bastardize the thing. So we wanted, it was a process of what songs lend themselves to this, what songs can we do this to without feeling like we may be stepping on the original, destroying it and rebuilding it, but still doing it with respect to what was.
I like that. So I've never thought of it like that, because you're right. Some of these songs, to you then, it's a song I wrote. It's great, it's cool, it's awesome. But to some people, like, that song got me through shit, man.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
We run into that a lot with the acoustic stuff. I think one of the greatest comments I've heard over and over again is, I grew up to this music, and I still listen to it on a norm, but tonight I felt like I heard it for the first time, and that was such a satisfying feeling, because that was exactly what we set out to do, was to recreate these songs, like I said, not bastardize them, and just kind of shed maybe a new light on some of the emotions that came into the song, and that's why it's not just a show, it's not just music. We chat about the songs and where they came from, and and shed a little light on this song or that song as we're going through the set, so people kind of understand the mindset and where or when, or maybe just a stupid story that has something to do with the song that pops into my head when we're out there with the people doing it. We've added some new material this time around too, not just solo Drowning Pool stuff, but some songs that whether we just thought would be cool to do, or songs in a couple instances, there's songs that came from artists that I shared time with on the road that aren't with us anymore, and just kind of pay homage to those individuals. So it's I
look forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully we don't bastardize it too much.
I was going to say, what can people expect from these shows? Like, is there any surprises along the way? Is there a Freebird rendition along the way?
There's no Freebird. No.
Thinking about it, he had that thought, and he says, we could fit in Freebird.
No, there wasn't actually. No, like I said, we have. I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, we have thrown a couple songs in there from other artists that we're continuing to. I mean, we were just talking earlier about, we've got the holidays off here and just getting back together, and some of the songs that we started working on that we were messing with before we started doing these shows, we want to bring back into the fold as far as rehearsal goes and get them ready for the next round of acoustic shows.
Amazing. Before we wrap up, I wanted to say a massive shout out to your bass player Martin for setting this up for us. That means the absolute world when we chatted to him at Bloodstock.
Who's that?
Your bass player Martin.
Who?
You know him. You know the guy. Yeah. But obviously, we spoke to Martin at Bloodstock because me and my co-host who do this podcast, we work alongside a charity called the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all.
I'm not.
Basically, the story was many years ago, a goth girl was walking through a park with her boyfriend, got stopped by a bunch of chavs, as the expression is, and basically got beaten until the point she died because she was different, because she was a goth. That was literally the rhyme or reason of it all. I was just wondering, obviously, growing up in this alternative lifestyle that we live, is that something you've ever experienced when you were younger?
I can't say that I have. I'm not one of those. I'm not somebody that blames. Not blames, but I can't. The things that are wrong in here aren't because of anything that I grew up with. It's just hereditary, I think. It's just what I was born with. So I had an amazing childhood, and I had a really weird, even teenage experience of being in high school, and I just kind of floated between all the types of, I didn't experience any of that myself, but I saw it. I tended to be the one that would be, if I got into a tussle or a fight, it was usually because someone was getting treated poorly, and I usually got in trouble for being that guy that involved himself in situations that I didn't belong in. But,
sticking up for the little man.
Yeah. Which is really strange when you consider how little I am. But he's littler? No, was he a fucking hobbit? No, I was blessed with an awesome childhood. So even though I was different in school, even though I was you got to consider the fact that I'm much older than dirt, and so in my days it was early Metallica that was the clothing style everybody was mimicking. So we had the long hair and the black from head to toe, not goth but just metal, So to look at me and my friends, we definitely looked different, but I wasn't in a situation in backwoods, small town Indiana, as oddly as it sounds, that we were treated any differently. So I was blessed in that sense that, that I didn't have to experience any of that myself. I did see things, like I said, and I usually would be in a little bit of trouble being the guy that had a big mouth, but
we need people like that, though. You need people that see this crap going down and go, no, stop it, it's not on, it's not necessary.
Put the goddamn cell phone down, quit videotaping it, and stop it.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Ryan, I appreciate this so much. Really appreciate you sitting down and talking to us. But before we get out of here, what's next for you? What's on the radar? Is there anything else coming out with Soil, or any solo work you plan on recording, or is it just keep on trucking, as I say?
Well, you know, a little secret that we can't talk about.
Yeah, eventually. Mum's the word on that one.
Yeah, but yeah, we're like I mentioned, we've got ideas and thoughts about what we're going to do with the acoustic set. I would really love to. We've already started dabbling on some new music with the lineup that's doing the acoustic stuff, so I'm interested to see where that goes. I just opened up an email about 2 days ago with Soil's schedule for 2023. So between the States and then a run here in the UK, I know that Soil will have a pulse again here in 2023. So I'm looking forward to that. The acoustic sets are awesome and great because it allows me to experience, like I said earlier, to experience where these songs came from when they originally fell out of my head lyrically. But at the same time, I do miss being up on stage, having that live energy vibe of just feeding back and forth with the people that give us the time of day. And so I'm looking forward to doing some new Soil shows here in the new year.
You said it. You know, you've done all these years in metal bands, and you're doing this. It must be a little bit different from not throwing around a mic stand and going nuts, just sitting there nice and calm.
You ever see those memes on like the Book of Faces and shit, where it's like, in a humorous way, describe what you do for a living?
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed that, because I yell at people. I get paid to yell at people. But I do miss that, just the energy of I love the vibe of the acoustic show, but I do also miss the being in that moment on stage with people that allow me to do what I do, and all of us just having a good time together. I miss that, and I'm looking forward to having that in my life again here in 2023.
I appreciate you doing this for us so much. It means the absolute world. What I'd love to do down the line is get you on the show properly, sit down, have a proper full-length interview with you, just chronicle that life and career of yours, because I imagine you've got so many stories from over the years. It'd be amazing to hear them.
It's crazy because I don't remember most of them until it's like just random. You'll be just sitting somewhere and somebody will say something, you're like, oh shit, that reminds me of some destruction or something that happened on the road. But yeah, it's I've been blessed with an amazing I've been blessed with an amazing opportunity to do music for a living by people that allow me to do it. So it comes with quite a few stories.
We'd love to hear him. I'm really fortunate. My co-host is supposed to be here with me today, but unfortunately he couldn't make it because he lives in Newport, so it's a bit of a travel for him. But no, we'd absolutely love to sit down with you properly and properly chronicle that life for you. It'd be absolutely amazing. But no, thank you. I appreciate you doing this so much.
No, thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody's time.
As I said, I think I'm a bag of nerves, but it was an incredible interview. I'm so happy of how that came out. And Ryan, as you hear in this interview, Ryan does agree he will come on and we will give him the full chronicling treatment in the future.
Smashed it out of the park. So excellent work, Jamie. I'm super proud of you, as always. Just goes to show that you don't always need me every single time, Yes, so I'm in a way, I don't mean it as in like, you know what I mean. So it's like, unfortunately, I just couldn't make it, which is a shame. But you absolutely nailed it, sir. And I'm so very, very proud of you. And we hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as Jamie did recording it.
All right. Is this thing on? Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man! That's right, Shaggy! Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boy!